Let's see. Okay, looks like we're live. And real quick, let's not have this end terribly. Oop, that's the wrong way to spell that. There we go. Alright, it is Friday, March 14th, 2025 at 5:16 p.m. Sorry I'm a little late here. Minor technical difficulties. Nothing like last week, at least as far as I can tell. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and be 100% sure that the sound is actually playing. Unlike last week. Yes, it is. Okay. Alright, so let's see what to talk about. So, I did not release any videos this week, but I've actually been working on 3 simultaneously. Specifically, starting with the Gunner's lore video. That one I was hoping to get out by today, but it definitely still needs more work to it. In fact, I've been focusing on other videos more at the moment. I need to get back to the Gunner's one because it's one of those things where I need to make sure I'm doing the 2 a month sort of a thing, and not just focus on the other videos I'm trying to put out. Specifically, right now, the Surveil video for Black Mountain Ordnance Works, which is not going to just cover the site, but cover the way to get the keys to the domes, the 3 domes that have keys. Well, there's technically 4. But the 4th one is a key you can only get through a specific event. So that's something that I'll basically just have to use archival footage for. Specifically, that's like the Invaders from Beyond event. And so you do an event and you end up getting a key to one of the TNT domes on the behalf of Homer Saperstein. The other domes, though, I think it's 3, 4, and 7. All of them have keys in the world. I've recorded 2 of those videos. Basically, they're like little sub-videos that go inside the main video. And I still have to record the 3rd. And it's been fun because it's been a while since I've done that stuff. So it's always interesting to see. Like, it's one of those things where you really have to wonder without the wiki how anybody would have found those things. The odds of it are so incredibly rare. Like, for example, getting into Dome 7, yes. There's the key. So to get that one, you have to get 2 matched key cards, one of which can be found in the Kana Nuka-Cola plant. And the other one can be found in a half-ruined house teetering at the top of Tanagra Town. So the one in the Nuka-Cola plant is hidden behind a stall door in a bathroom on the floor, sitting vertically, so it's basically like invisible. And then the other one is hidden behind a trifold flag, again, on this teetering edge of a broken house. So again, the odds that anybody would have ever found those things without the wiki, and basically that stuff coming in from people data mining and stuff like that, is incredibly low. But anyway, so yeah, I'm working on that video. And then along with that, I actually did finish the next Dragon Age video. I just haven't released it yet because I need to put together an announcement video for the opening of my other channel, which is for all non-lore, non-guide videos. And speaking of which, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with the Surveil videos, if those are going to transfer over to the new channel as well. It's one of those things where it feels like it should be the case, and it feels also like a lot of what's holding me back on that is simply the fact that there's 187 videos that I'll have to transfer. And so just the thought at the amount of labor that's going to be involved in moving those things over is just crazy. Let's just walk on over there. So yeah, that I will hopefully have by Monday. I'll have that video launched, and I'll have a little video announcing the fact that it's open. It is technically there now, and there are videos on it. The videos are simply unlisted, so you wouldn't be able to find them. So I'll, again, Monday. Look for that Monday. Okay, so then with the Gunners video, basically, yeah, I need to keep working on the script. It's not quite there yet. It shouldn't be too much longer, though. And then after that, again, I was going to wait until after that point to figure out if I was going to cover Covenant. Let me take a look and see if anybody new has voted in the polls. Let's see. Where is it? Next lore video. Oh, that's the wrong subreddit. Not subreddit. Discord. There it is. Okay, we got 3 votes for Covenant. And 2 votes for Raiders of the Commonwealth on the Discord. If I go to the Patreon, I think that's where all the votes came for Gunners. Let's see. I need to put another post out on Patreon. It's been a couple of weeks now. Let's see. Yeah, that's where I got the gunners from originally. So it's looking like Covenant. Not invincible, and decided to walk through a hole in a bridge. I simply just didn't have any, I didn't have clipping turned on, so. Alright, back here. Should still be invisible to people around me, though. Yeah. Okay. So the Ghoul update should be coming soon to Fallout 76, which reminds me of another thing there. There's going to be new sites added with this update. I was going to try to go get some footage of these sites beforehand, but unfortunately they're all off the edge of the map as it's currently set up. So I got basically a shot of the area in general from a little camp. I set up a tower on top of the camp, and that's all I've got. Unfortunately, I can't get anything any closer for now. Not that there would be anything to see, basically, again, because it's off the edge of the map, I don't think that they put as much effort into, like, doing the layout of the local area. It's one of those things where it's like, it's just a general kind of like hillside with some trees on it. I kind of doubt that there's going to be too much left over of what it currently is when the time comes. We'll see, though. But again, the fact that it's off the edge of the map means that they have a lot more free reign to do with it as they please. So we'll see what comes of that. I've also heard even more rumors of the potential release of a what's it called? Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake. It was kind of confusing to a certain extent. Like, it all sounded good, but it's one of those things where, like, until we get any sort of actual official confirmation. Hi, Seven. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Until we get any sort of actual confirmation of what's going on there, I don't believe it. Hope you've had a good week. It's just, it almost sounds like too good to be true, and, like, again, weird in the same respect. Because they're like, oh yeah, it'll be like it's updated with the Creation Engine, but also with Unreal 5. I'm like, what? So we got some gunners here. This is another one of the minor sites. Headshots. Served, let's see, what are the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30? No, sorry, 28. They have served 28 headshots. Weirdly enough, they decided to slip these up here rather than go down to the next level. I don't know. Anyway. Should just be a couple of them up here with a turret. Yeah, there's the other one. But I've always enjoyed these little elevators that they set up here. You do have to kind of wonder where they got them from, like construction sites around Boston, maybe. I don't really want to go down that way. And wait, almost fell through there. So yeah, that's all I've heard on that. One would hope that any sort of work that's done to make an Oblivion remake will then go into making a Fallout 3 remake, because we're talking very similar time period in terms of their making, very similar versions of the engine. Obviously they had to go in and remove all the magic and put in guns, but the environments and stuff like that, same time period. In the same way that Fallout 4 shares a lot of its stuff with Skyrim. Just gonna keep on following this highway. I don't know why I just turned it off. It's like another 20 feet and I gotta turn it back on again. Okay. So, yeah, again, next month, Fallout 76. We've come up with some potential videos that I'll cover there. Again, if you have any recommendations you'd like, go ahead and put them up on the chat. Or if you want to, you can put them in on the Discord, and I'll see them and I'll add them to the list. I'll pick basically the 4 that I want to do the most, and I'll put those up. Or the 4 that I think I need to do the most, because I will probably at least put one remake on there. Probably Welch, maybe. It's been a while, and Welch does actually have some new content to cover there, so that would be a good thing in both ways. What else should we talk about? It's just not that much, because again, I usually have another video to talk to you all about, but still working on this one. Are these guys, any of these still here? No, they're all dead. Okay, we're approaching that, oh, there's a live one. We're approaching that part of it that runs right through Lexington, right past the Corvega plant. Trying to think, again, I'm trying to think if there's anything specific that you all need to know at the moment. Like, there's a couple things I've got working on the back burner, but I'm not ready to talk about them yet. Oh, it's not invincible. I was about to make the same mistake again. We'll see exactly what happens with the ghoul update, because, again, my understanding is there's at least 4, maybe 5 new locations. I can't remember exactly. I took a picture of it. Let's see. I'll screenshot specifically. 5 new locations is what I see there. And who knows, you never know if what people post online is true or not, but specifically what they've said is, I see a chunk of a map here that says, with 5 locations, one of them is Point Response, that has a grave logo on it, or a grave icon. Radiant Hills, which has the star and the circle, typically something you find with like military locations. The Bullen Grub, which is a marsh, it looks like, marsh icon. A cave icon that says Hillside Cavern, and a cabin icon that says Old Donaldson Cabin. So we'll see exactly what comes of that. Again, it's all north, northeast of the Savage Divide, north of the Mire. Basically, if you go north of Vault 79, that's where all those locations show up on the map. So we'll see exactly what comes of that. Still more stuff I need to cover there in Fallout 76. I mean, there's part of me that's drawn to making videos on the new. I think what I probably should do is I probably should make, and again, it entirely depends on what y'all vote on, but I feel like I need to make at least one remake and make a new video as well, because again, there's at least like 6 or 7 remake videos I want to do in 76. But so I'm gonna definitely look for like voice classes or something like that at some point. Just because, right here, sorry, I just noticed your comment there. Gonna add a few neat spots for camps. I'm not interested in the ghoul stuff. Yeah, that breaks down almost every established ghoul lore. Yeah, that's definitely my case as well. I'm not interested in becoming a ghoul. I'll do it at least once, specifically just to like make a video on it, to talk about it. But I've never really been interested in becoming a ghoul. There's a whole bunch of people that have always been asking. It's like, let us make a ghoul character or make a super mutant character. And I have never had interest in that. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, again, so I kind of want to do some voice lessons before I do any more remakes, because it's one of those things where it's like do a remake and then have to do another remake if my voice actually gets significantly better. But it's one of those things that you don't really notice until you record yourself a lot, as I have. I've probably recorded myself for at least several hundred hours over the past 5 years or so. And in that time, I've noticed just how much my voice can vary from day to day, and even within the day, depending on... It sometimes depends on anything you ate. So, like, drinking milk, and this is something that I remember actually specifically from band back in the day, was that they would basically tell you not to drink milk because it would change the environment of your mouth when you're trying to play an instrument. And so I want to like get some actual professional training on that at some point soon. Just to get to where I've got like a stable voice that I use for videos. Because, and again, it's probably something you all haven't noticed unless you've been watching a lot of them back to back over time, but my voice has changed throughout the videos as well. So probably I'll do just TLDR here. We'll probably do mostly new videos on 76 for the moment, and come back to those remakes when I not only am improving the speed at which I'm saying things and things like that and adding in the new content, but also when the quality of my voice is better. So we'll see exactly when that is. What else should I talk to you all about? There's really not that much I've got to say this week. Again, it's mostly stuff either that is simply related to the channel, related to side videos, or related to... Again, things I'm just not really ready to talk about just yet in terms of content I'm producing at the moment. What about y'all? How have y'all's weeks been? What have you got planned for the next week? I know that, at least in my area, a lot of people are starting their spring break this week. Or this weekend, I mean, going through the next week. Which, I don't have a spring break. As an adult, I've got my job. But it does mean that my commute in the morning is going to be nice next week. The only way for me to get to my job is behind 2 schools. So there's always traffic every morning. My city was quite poorly designed. They didn't really think forward, think ahead, and it's like one of the fastest growing towns in Texas, or has been over the past few years, and Texas has already been one of the faster growing states, so that should tell you it's been quite busy. And we were a fairly small town until recently, and we've kind of still got a city council that's a small town city council, and so they just don't really seem to have a handle on traffic. I am looking forward to Atomfall. I've seen a couple little videos on that. Looks like British Fallout. That's obviously not within the Fallout universe. I'm not sure exactly what the backstory is there. If it's one of those things like Stalker, where the rest of the world is still normal, at least as far as I know. But you're basically within the Chernobyl exclusion zone. I don't know if in the Atomfall universe if everything outside of Britain is normal, or at least parts of the world are still normal. But definitely looks interesting. Very stylized post-apocalypse in the same way that Fallout does it. Oop. Oh, jeez Louise. Yeah, well, keep in mind, in the... man, no autosaves anywhere along the way, it seems. You gotta keep in mind that Boston is obviously going to have a lot larger roads than Appalachia will. I don't know why I didn't just turn on God mode at any point during that. I got to about there. We'll go to Boston Common. It is also interesting that the Boston of the Fallout universe seems to have done a big dig sort of a thing, but at the same time they also didn't. Which, if you're not aware, Boston did a major remodeling to their highways. God, it's got to have been 25 years ago at this point, something like that, if not longer ago. Basically, the goal was to try to move the roads under the major highways through Boston underground to kind of clear the city up a little bit. It was a huge project, went way past its expected completion date. There were issues with water seeping in the walls, improper materials used, causing chunks of the ceiling to fall in, stuff like that. Freedom Tour. But they did actually eventually finally complete it. But in the Fallout universe, they still have the major highways running through, like, above ground in town. You can take a look at the map. Which, yeah, basically this one over here, that up there, does not exist in the real world. At least not above ground. But there is like a kind of a big dig sort of an area. I think it's right over here. Too narrow and the corners are too sharp. Yeah. No, yeah. Hey, Acorn Electron, welcome to the stream. Yeah, government plans overspend and overrun. Yeah, it's crazy. Who would have expected it? I am hopeful that in the future we're going to have a lot more infrastructure done underground. Personally speaking, I hate the look of telephone poles and power lines and all that kind of stuff. I am 100% on board with basically digging large-scale utility tunnels. And my hope is that I've seen at least a couple things. First of all, you've got the Boring Company, which seems to be having success with basically reusable tunnel boring machines, which, if you're not aware, most of the time when they finish a tunnel, they just dig a hole under the tunnel boring machine. They remove the expensive parts, and then just bury the rest of the tunnel boring machine in the tunnel, which just seems crazy to me. The boring company seems to be planning on actually like extracting the machines to use them somewhere else. But then along with that, there's another company. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But they're basically doing some sort of, I don't even know the way to put it. They're basically going to be melting the rock out of the way. And they're using it, to my understanding, to dig extremely deep tunnels in order to create geothermal opportunities. So basically, you could go anywhere in the world, no matter what the actual situation is geologically. What is going on here with this loading screen being infinite? Anyway, the goal is to basically go anywhere in the world, regardless of the geology, and you could make a place be right for geothermal by, again, digging one of these holes. Like, I don't even know exactly how deep. I'm just gonna go ahead and say something crazy like 10 miles. I think it's something like that. But yeah, my hope is that and it's one of those things where I feel like you could start to see this sort of stuff pop up in rich neighborhoods first, where they could actually build effectively like utility tunnels for garbage collection, parcel delivery, stuff like that, to where the main road is specifically preserved for local traffic exclusively, and that you could have like conveyor belts underground and stuff like that, carrying people's garbage to compactors and stuff like that. That's at least my hope. That it basically will start that kind of thing in rich neighborhoods, and then over time, as more people buy into it, the cost of the technology drops, and you can get rid of needing power poles and electrical boxes in people's yards and all that kind of stuff. We'll see, though. I also would love to see more train tunnels and stuff like that. This is the tunnel I was talking about in terms of being a big dig type situation here in Boston. I can't remember what city it is. I remember reading about a city in Germany where they have like an actual freight delivery line, specifically that just is basically like it's a business to business sort of situation where it's buried beneath a city, and you can just load things onto this system and it traverses under the city, so you don't have to have trucks going around the streets and stuff like that. I'm very pro tunnel. And it's definitely one of those things where as a kid, I don't know about y'all, but I was always digging holes in the yard and stuff like that. Not as much as my uncles. I've heard that my great uncles, who went on to become engineers themselves, were digging holes in the backyard and digging trenches, putting plywood on top of them, and then burying the plywood to create these little tunnels that ran all throughout the yard. Put little holes in the walls to put like those little tea candles in. Feels like time for new large infrastructure passed. Yeah, no, I know. Well, it's crazy to think about. Just because I covered it recently, the Hoover Dam, I think took 5 years to build, which I can't imagine them building something that big in 5 years now. And I think the Empire State Building was like a year, less than a year, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but we have definitely significantly slowed down in terms of building. And some of that is definitely a good thing, because, I mean, we lost, I think it was a couple hundred people. I can't remember the exact number in the building of, like, the Hoover Dam. But at the same time, it's like, we don't build anything big anymore. At least it doesn't feel like it. I mean, individual companies will build large buildings. You see something like the Gigafactory in Austin. You see, like, Apple's campus that they've got out in Cupertino, California. And yeah, we do occasionally build the big things, but again, it's mostly private companies for their own use. It's just unfortunate. And some of it is because of legitimate environmental concerns, but at the same time, like, it feels like we've lost something there. One of the things I've been a big advocate for is the construction of basically a nationwide system of pipelines to carry water from parts of the country that have too much of it to parts of the country that don't have enough of it. Potentially as a way to stem flooding in places like the Mississippi River and bring it to places like the desert Southwest, but I know that that would be an immensely expensive project. But I would like to think that something like that would not only be possible, but also would be extremely beneficial to the country as a whole. What do we... Places like China are capable of building that kind of infrastructure because the government can basically just override local needs.
Well, Becca pulled him into the front of the store, and everything seemed fine, right? He must have got spooked or something.
But it's one of those things where I wouldn't want to live with the other parts of... I feel like I keep hearing someone calling for help. I think it's there. It's like a trap that they've just got constantly running here. But yeah, I wouldn't want to live with all the other issues that come with living in China just to have the great infrastructure projects. Like, I think their surveillance system for their own citizens is actually called Skynet, which is just crazy. Oh, man, and their social credit system and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, but, so my understanding is they're building, I think it's like a large-scale, what's it called? Pipeline from Tibet up to the Gobi Desert. So that they can carry basically snowmelt runoff up to the desert to try to green it. Which is just kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, we'll see exactly what happens, though. My hope is that we'll do some more large-scale stuff. It's just, we'll see. I saw somebody the other day that had a post on Twitter that said something like... they had a map of high-speed rail infrastructure for the United States, and they're like, I had an expert tell me they could complete this in 6 months, and it would pay for itself in a year and a half, or something like that. It's like, are you kidding? In this country, in this day and age, with the rate at which we build things, we could build a nationwide infrastructure of high-speed rail in 6 months? I don't think so. I do also... always kind of laugh when Europeans are like, "Oh, you Americans, you don't have the rail system like we do." It's like, yeah, you're right, because first of all, our country is like 50 times the size of most of your countries, and not only that, but we started basically building our country around the same time as trains became a thing, and not long after that, yeah, 6 months for the scale model. Not long after that, the automobile came around, and we just ended up building a car culture here, which has its positives and negatives for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I absolutely am a person who adores the independence that comes with the car culture, but it's unquestionably the case that we just also have lost out on certain levels of infrastructure, and the fact that they destroyed entire parts of beautiful cities to replace them with like 18-lane highways and stuff like that. So.
Civilian in the perimeter. Check your fire.
This is interesting. Let's see what happens if I turn on detect and AI detection.
Nice try.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely the case. It's like one of those things where in the US it's... Wow, they went down so quick. In the US it's like... well, for example, for me to go visit my family, they live 2 towns away, and that is 30 miles. For a lot of people in Europe, the next town over is like literally over the hill. And it's like, it's not uncommon in Texas to go to Dallas or San Antonio or Houston, but what people don't really seem to get if you don't live in the area is that those cities are each, I don't know the exact number, but I know that it takes something like 3.5 hours to get from any one of them to any one of the others. And not only that, like the city of Houston by itself, I've never been a fan of Houston simply because of how big it is. And it's like the size of a small European country in its own right. And yeah, we've got vast areas where there's just literally nothing going on. It's basically like, basically the European complaints that the U.S. hasn't done enough to build like a high-speed rail network is kind of in line with being like, oh, God, Siberia and Mongolia. You guys out there in the steppe lands, you build nothing in terms of like infrastructure. It's like, what are we connecting to exactly? There's like several 100,000 acres of farmland, and yeah, they need freight rail, but it's not like there's massive cities out there. Nor is there a large part of the population that wants to live in these kind of places. Yeah. Yeah.
Weapons cold. We appreciate the assistance, civilian. But what's your business here?
Let's be sarcastic.
Pest exterminator. I heard you had a feral problem.
Evading my questions is a surefire way of getting yourself ejected from the compound. Are you from a local settlement?
Yeah, let's just go Vault 11.
I'm from Vault 111.
111, I should
You're
say.
a vault dweller?
Most people wouldn't admit to such a thing. I appreciate your honesty. If I appear suspicious, it's because our mission here has been difficult. Since the moment we arrived in the Commonwealth, we've been constantly under fire. If you want to continue pitching in, we could use an extra gun on our side.
You're doomed. Who are you, really?
I want to help, but I don't like the secrecy. Who are you, really?
Very well. I'm Paladin Danse, Brotherhood of Steel. Over there is Scribe Halen and Knight Reese. We're on recon duty, but I'm down a man and our supplies are running low. I've been trying to send a distress call to my superiors, but the signal's too weak to reach them.
Sir, if I may,
Proceed, Halen.
I've modified the radio tower on the roof of the police station, but I'm afraid it just isn't enough. What we need is something that will boost the signal.
Our target is ArcJet Systems, and it contains the technology we need, the deep-range transmitter. We infiltrate the facility, secure the transmitter, and bring it back here. So what do you say? You willing to lend the Brotherhood of Steel a hand?
What's the Brotherhood of Steel?
Brotherhood of Steel.
Our order seeks to understand the nature of technology, its power, its meaning to us as humans, and we fight to secure that power from those who would abuse it.
Abuse of technology?
How did mankind abuse technology?
Before the Great War, science and technology became more of a burden than a benefit. The atom bomb, bioengineered plagues, and FEV are clear examples of the horrors that technological advancement had wrought. We're here to make sure that never happens again.
Your cause seems noble.
I'm pleased that you agree. There are very few, outside the Brotherhood, who appreciate the gravity of the situation we're facing as a species. So, what do you say? Will you help us?
Sure.
No time to waste. Let's get moving.
Outstanding.
Am I actually starting this quest right now? I hope not, because I wasn't. Oh, probably yes. Anyway, though, okay.
Once you're on your feet, I want
What
you
were
to
we
make
talking
certain
about?
the perimeters.
The vastness of the country, I guess.
It's time to prove your worth. Head into the
Yeah, no,
police
it's
station
it's
and yourself.
again.
Let me know when you're ready to begin.
Oh,
Let's move
doing a
out.
dead night here.
All right, big guy.
I don't think I've ever really noticed that before.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Trying to pick his body up here. Or wait, no, is it E? Yeah. It's only in Fallout 3 in New Vegas that moving bodies around is something you do with a Z. There. Now it looks like he died well on defense. He probably still did, but it's definitely different there. Anyway. What was I thinking about, though? Sorry. My mind drifted through Paladin Dance's conversation. I don't know. I think I'm gonna close things out just because, again, I'm having I'm having trouble focusing right at the moment. So again, I guess I'll just go ahead and give you all again a quick update on what to look forward to here. So the Gunners video, I'm getting close to finishing the script. Once I have that done, I still have some more footage I need to film, but it's not going to be too much longer after that. I'm hoping by Friday. Let's say that. Friday. Oh, yeah, don't forget St. Patrick's Day on Monday. I don't know if anybody, if y'all do anything to actually celebrate. I am Irish myself, well, Irish American, which I know people in Ireland don't really consider to be Irish. But I have a fairly Irish last name. But anyway, I don't know that I've actually really ever done any sort of serious celebration of St. Patrick's Day. I don't typically drink all that much, so it's not really my thing. But if you do celebrate, have a great time. Along with that, again on Monday, on St. Patrick's Day, look for the launch of the other channel. That's going to be a Resolute Exploration. There's already a link to it on this channel as it is, but again, there's no videos there that are currently listed. I'm hoping to have the rest of the Mass Effect series uploaded there so that I can then delete them from the channel that exists as they are right now, where they are right now. Which will reduce the video count on the channel as it is, but at the same time basically increase the view count per video on average. So we'll see about that. And again, the Dragon Age videos are already all over there. I still need to actually make them go live over there, and at the same time, basically right before I have them go live there, I'll delete the 3 that are currently existing on this channel as it is. Hopefully I'll also have a 5th video in that series next week as well. Again, the 4th one will be coming out on Monday. And I also will do the Surveil video covering Black Mountain Ordnance Works there next week. I love it when you take off a ghoul's arms and they just kind of stand there staring at you. Okay, I was going to say, these guys are aware of my presence. They're acting weird, though. I guess taking off arms is much more common with a melee weapon. I don't know. I mean, you can shoot them off pretty easily, but... Anyway, what was I going to say? I feel like I had something I wanted to say about Starfield, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I do think that it is looking more and more likely that Starfield will be out on the PS3, or it's not PS3, PS5 at some point in the near future. Can you imagine it being on the PS3? That'd be hilarious. Yeah, again, it's not a question of like deleting the videos. They're simply going to be in a new location. That's what's going on there. Is that the entire reason I'm doing this is to effectively kind of focus this channel down more towards being specifically on lore. And part of that is I've also decided to and part of this is a consequence of nothing more than view count, but I think, let me take a look real quick to make my point here more clearly. The video that I've done on how to decrypt the nuclear launch codes, for example. 1 second here. Videos, top videos, all time. Okay. So, my top... I don't know why that one's in there. Let's just go ahead and say top 5 videos are Fallout 4's video on Vault 111, Starfield's video on the ECS Constant, my video on the story of Fallout 76 in 10 minutes, the guide to nuclear launch code decryption, and then for some reason, and again I don't know why it's there, the video on the first walkthrough of Wastelanders content. I don't know, again, why that one's so high up there. I don't know why it consistently keeps getting more views. Anyway. But, what was I going to say here? So, my main point here is that the reason I'm leaving guides more so than anything else is because, like, 2 of my top 10 videos are guides. No, only 1 of them, actually. Sorry. The other one there is the Fallout 76 main quest video on, like, everything surrounding decryption of the launch codes, and also along with that it was getting the nuclear key cards, getting the launch code pieces, all that kind of stuff. So that's my main reason for leaving that stuff up there, is specifically just because it does actually bring in a lot of views. And part of the whole thing here is I'm trying to increase the views per video, and when you look at things like the old Mass Effect Legendary Edition and Andromeda coverage and the Dragon Age videos as they currently are, a lot of them have less than 100, sometimes like less than 50 views on them, versus my typical viewership of lore videos is averages at like the bottoming out around 1,000 going up to 188,000 or something like that. So I don't know. See, again, the thing here is I'm trying to work with the algorithm as it is, because you're saying there diversity of videos draws in a wider audience. And that's potentially true, but at the same time, the fact of the matter seems to be that the channel just doesn't get as recommended if you have a bunch of videos that don't do all that well. At least that's my understanding of the way the algorithm works. So that's why because it's like I still want to keep making these videos because I enjoy making them, but at the same time, I want this main channel to succeed more than it has. So that's the main reason that I'm looking to do this sort of thing. So I mean, we'll see. It could well be the case that I end up creating this channel, moving all the videos over there, and everything stays the same. Well, we won't really know until it happens. So, and like basically just bottom line here, no videos are being deleted. They're simply moving. I mean, technically speaking, yes, they're being deleted because in order to move them, I have to simply upload them again to the new channel, and after that, I delete them off the old channel. So it's not technically the same instance of the video, I guess, but it's going to be the same footage, all that kind of stuff. I unfortunately can't transfer over views and comments and things like that, which stinks, but it's simply the way that stuff works. So that's true. It's very difficult to know exactly what causes things to go up in the algorithm and stuff like that. For example, last weekend I seemed to get a boost to my video covering Mass Fusion. I have literally no idea why exactly. It's like, I like the video. I think it's a good video, and I'd like to have more people to watch it. But last weekend, I got 2 comments on that video when I haven't gotten a comment on that video in like months. So it's one of those things where it's like I never know what it is that's actually causing a video to go up in the algorithm. I like outside of very, very specific circumstances. For example, the Fallout 4 lore video covering Vault 11. That went way up right after the Fallout TV show came out. So, I mean, it's like an obvious, like, straight line sort of thing right there. So, but other than that, yeah, it's very difficult for me to ever find that stuff out. Sure. So, again, though, I think... Let me get the stem back. I think I've got some more rounds for this now anyway. This is a level 25 character with 10mm because I boosted him to level 25 to be ready for filming content for the Gunners content. Anyway, though, yeah, again, look for the Gunners video next week. Look for the new channel to launch next week. The new Dragon Age Origins video on the Battle of Ostagar. Jeez Louise. I'm out of ammo again. Look for the Surveil video on Black Mountain Ordnance Works. The Surveil videos, I'm still struggling on whether to leave them on the main channel or not. I still have not 100% come to a decision on that. Because part of it feels like it is literally just... They are, in a very weird little way, their own little lore videos. They are produced in no way like a normal lore video, but at the same time they do cover the stories of these locations just in a much more raw sense. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where it's like I could literally make the same claim for the walkthrough videos where you're just going through the quests and stuff like that. So I don't know. Again, I'm still trying to figure out if I'm making an excuse to not move them over simply because it's so much work and I'm just trying to talk myself out of it. We'll see. I'll try to make a decision on that in the next couple days. Anyway, though, I think I'll close things out here. Again, the last few days for the to vote on whatever the next video is going to be. Currently, it's looking like it's going to be Covenant. But if you have anything else that you'd rather to see covered, go ahead and check that out. So, I think we'll close things out here. I hope you all have a good weekend. To those of you who have spring break ahead, have a good spring break. And a good happy St. Patrick's Day to those of y'all. Disco Elysium having a resurgence. I have considered doing lore videos on other universes, other than just currently Fallout and Starfield. I haven't played Disco Elysium enough to make a lore video on that. It's definitely an interesting looking universe. I'll definitely check it out more at some point in the future. But regardless, again, I hope you all have a good weekend. And yeah. Have a good St. Patrick's Day. See you all next Friday. And by that point, we should be able to talk about the Gunners video. So, have a good weekend, y'all.